What's going on, guys? JS Pyro here, and welcome back to your no-nonsense guide on how to get into Warframe in 2021. And today we'll be talking about probably the most important, most crucial feature of Warframe that you need to understand in order to properly play this game, and that is Warframe's modding system. Now, Warframe's modding system is actually fairly simple, but it can be very, very hard to figure out for new players, which is why we're talking about it today. Today we're going to only go over the basics, but later videos will be going on more advanced modding tutorials, so go ahead and look out for that. And of course, make sure you subscribe, turn on some notifications if you want to basically stay informed on that. But for now, just the basics will do for you new players. So the first thing we're going to show off today is the mod station. Now the mod station is actually fairly important, as it's how you're going to basically be managing, well, your mods that you collect. Now mods are pretty much like, I guess you could call them little cards that upgrade your various weapons and skills, so that way you can become stronger and better. And you'll need this because later on enemies will get tougher, and if you don't have proper mods on your characters and weapons, your weapons and characters will pretty much do absolutely nothing to them. So you will need this mod station in order to get this. If you do not see the mod station here, then you probably haven't completed the tutorial fully yet, and you will need to do that in order to unlock the mod station. Once you've done that, we're going to go ahead and click on it, and it will be presented with this screen here. Now, as you can see, I have quite a few mods. You may not have nearly as many, but that is okay and perfectly fine. Alright, if you hover over a given mod, it'll tell you a few things. And we'll go into more detail about what everything here does in a minute later in the video, but the most important thing is the number on the top left. This is pretty much how many of a specific mod you currently own. Now, in Warframe, unlike some games like Destiny, where if you want to apply a mod to your weapons or gear, you can only apply that one mod to that one weapon, and once you've done it, you're going to need to get another of that mod and to apply it to a second weapon, and another one to apply it to even a third weapon. In Warframe, this is not how this works. You will only ever need one mod. There may be situations in which you'll need 2 or 3 of these same mods, but we'll get into that more later. If you're really worried about it, just save about 3 of each mod and get rid of the rest. Now, to get rid of excess mods, you simply click on the mod that you have a lot of, and then you pretty much click this button to select all. Now, if you're only going to keep 3 of each of these mods, just take the max number that you have, minus 3 from it, and then put that number in. So I have 6 here, so we take away 3 of the mods away from that, we'll get, well, 3, funny enough. And then that pretty much saves me 3 of those mods. So I go ahead and confirm, 3 of the 6 mods will be selected. And then what you got here is you can either sell it for credits or dissolve it for endo. Now, you will never ever need to sell for credits. You might want to early on, as you'll be pretty much like low on it, but trust me, just do a few missions, you'll get tons of credits. Do not sell for credits. You get plenty, and later on you'll get ways to earn a butt-fuck ton of credits in the game. So just don't sell for credits. Always dissolve for endo if you, as it's probably the more important resource, especially early on for you new players. So it's also good to note that you can actually select, like, I guess, more than one mod at a time. So I can go over here and select, like, all these. And then as you can see, as I select more than one mod, I'm getting more and more endo. And then once you're done selecting the mods that you want to get rid of and how many you decided to keep, you go ahead and click dissolve here. And then you confirm that you want to, yes, get rid of all these mods, and you'll get this much back. And then you're done. It'll be applied to this number here, and as you can see, I have quite a bit of that endo. But we'll get into more about farming endo later. Don't worry about that. Just sell off mods early on that you have a lot of to get endo. Keep about 1 to 3 of each. That's all you really need to know. If you really want to know a quick way to figure out what you currently have, click this tab here for duplicates. There's a bunch of tabs here for like warframes, weapons, primaries, melees, stance mods, and all this. We'll get into more about what each of these mean, especially the most important ones. But for now, the big one here is duplicates. When you click on that, it'll show you all of the mods that you currently have that are duplicates. If you don't, then you just need to come here and click sort by duplicates. There we go. There you go. Make sure that's also duplicates. And then you'll see in order from greatest to, well, least, how many mods you currently have of that given type. Which is really useful, okay? So once again, click save either 1 or 3, confirm, and then once again, select all, save 1 or 3, confirm, and then sell for endo. It's pretty much that easy. As you can see, we got 3 left, and we're done. That's about the first thing you want to learn about this mod station. The next thing is, well, pretty key, and that is how to upgrade mods. Now, if I hover over this Vitality, for example, there's a few things on this mod. You'll see Vitality, the name of the mod. You'll see what it does, plus 40 health, and what it's for, Warframe. Also underneath that, you will see a bunch of grayed out dots, pretty much. These are, I guess, what you could call the mod's ranks. And by that means, you can pretty much upgrade the mod itself to make it stronger. So you can apply the mod on your character to make your character stronger, and then you can upgrade the mod to pretty much make the mod stronger, which in turn makes you stronger, which is pretty useful. So we go ahead and click on one of these mods. As I said, you will only need to upgrade one. So make sure you're only upgrading one. There are certain scenarios where you'll want to upgrade 2 or 3, but again, that will be more in my advanced modding tutorial for you early on gamers. Only worry about one. Hit confirm, and then you'll be presented with this option here, Fusion. When you click on Fusion, you'll be presented with this screen. Now, once again, you'll see up at the top left here how much health that the actual mod itself gives and what its drain is. Now, as you see, if I hover over this mod, on the top right, you will see a little number. It says number 2 and a symbol. We'll get into the symbols in a bit, but the number 2 is pretty much how much this mod is going to take up on my Warframe. And we'll get into why that's important once we go over to the actual Warframe panel to upgrade our character. But for now, just keep that in the back of your head. For now, just focus on the stat itself. Now, to increase a mod's rank, we simply come here and click the plus button. Boop. And you'll see one of these little dots turn blue. This mod is now rank 1. And as you can see, the stat itself has gone up from 40% to 80%. And then over here, you will see that we now have a endo cost and credit cost. That's this resource and this resource. This is how much it is going to cost to apply this fusion, this upgrade. So, and that cost gets higher the more upgrades I apply to the mod. And as you can see, it gets quite expensive as you go further and further along. And to the point where it's like 494,000 credits and 10,000 endo. Now this seems like a lot of numbers, like a big number, and it pretty much is at the start of the game, but there are very, very easy ways to farm endo and credits in this game. You will have plenty of this stuff. The only reason I have very little is because I just got done upgrading mods myself, and now I need to go farm some more of this resource. So there you have that. For you new players though, my recommendation is only upgrade mods to level 5 or level 6. Do not go higher than level 5 or 6, as this will be perfectly fine for any of you new players in low-level enemies and low-level targets. Only worry about the final 5 to 4 ranks when you get into endgame, and when you can afford to do so, that is. But for now, rank 5 to 6 on any mod will pretty much be good to go. And then you just simply click Apply Fusion, and then you will be given that mod. And as you see here, this is actually quite a big difference. So upgrading rank 5 to rank 5 to 6 will give you a 40% increase to health, now goes up to 280% increase to your Warframe's health, which is quite a big deal. So that's pretty much how you upgrade mods. The only other thing in this system, which you probably won't use a lot of, is Transmute. So, as I said before, if you have excess mods, you can sell them for endo, which is pretty much what you're going to do for the most part. But, instead of selling them, you can do what's called Transmute them, which is where you select a certain number of that mod, for example, 4 golds. It's different depending on the mod's rarity, so you may need to select more or less of a given mod, or a combination of it. It's hard to really explain right now. You probably won't do this very often, as it is pretty expensive and only really meant for, you only really will use it if you want to like try to roll for a new mod. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You won't be using this very often, but I'm just going to explain it quickly here. So I'm going to select 4 of these mods, and as you'll see, if I select 3 instead, it won't light up, right? You have to select a certain minimum of mods. So if I select 3 of these mods and then maybe 1 of these mods, as you'll see, it'll light up. Or if I select 4 of these mods, boop, 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 as you'll see, it'll light up. So you'll know when you have enough selected because it'll show up here, okay? This right here is pretty much called transmuting. Basically taking a bunch of mods you already have, or a bunch of the same mod you already have, and pretty much rolling for a new mod. The only problem is you can get mods that you already have with this. It's like a loot box. You pretty much roll, you give up some, and you get something back. What you get back is completely random, and it can be new, but it's also going to be something you already have, and it's quite expensive. So, like I said, you generally avoid doing this early on. You will only ever need this for like if you're absolutely desperate. Like I actually needed a Berserk mod once, which is pretty much. I'm in the wrong tab for this. There we go. This mod right here, and I couldn't get it its normal way, and so I transmuted a bunch of golds like you saw I was doing earlier, and got this mod from this here. But again, the odds of you getting it are low, and it's expensive, so I would avoid doing that as much as possible. And that's pretty much all you'll really need to know for the mod station. Pretty much how to get rid of duplicates, how to transmute duplicates, and how to upgrade your mods. That's pretty much all you'll use this for to manage your mods. Alright, so now that we've explained the mod station, it's time to explain how this all kind of works together. How to apply these mods, and what the limitations are, and all of that. And so to get into that, we're going to be using the Warframe arsenal. Now, if you don't have this unlocked, once again, you will need to complete the tutorial in Warframe to have this unlocked in your ship. Once you do, go ahead and access the arsenal. Now here, this is pretty much where, well, you'll customize all your stuff and all your characters, select what weapons you want to use, what warframes you want to use, and all that stuff, what you want to take into battle. The key thing here is you see when I hover over a warframe such as Sevagoth, the brand new warframe that just came out, he has 4 things. You have equip, which is pretty much how you select your character. You have appearance and abilities, and this is how you customize them. But you also have upgrade. Now this also appears on your weapons. If I click onto upgrade, you'll be presented with this screen. Now this is quite a lot of information here, so we're going to go ahead and break this down. On the left side here, you have pretty much your character's stats, and this also applies to weapons. And we'll go over more about what's the importance of stats and stuff like that when we go over the builds tutorial. But just know this is where all your stats are, and how these mods affect those stats. And you'll have, well, what's called capacity. Now this is important. So remember that thing I told you about in the mod station, that little number on the top right that I said would be very important? That is called a mod's drain. Well, as you saw earlier, when we were, let's say, here, where's that? Vitality. I'm just gonna go ahead and type it in. There we go. So I'm gonna throw on this vitality here. Boom. All right. We'll worry about this stuff later. But here, vitality, right? As you see, there's a little 2 on it, on the top right, and a symbol. The number 2 is how much this mod is going to cost to apply to this character. As you see here, there is a capacity limit. As you see here, we have 60, and this mod costs 2, which takes away from that 60 and makes it now 58. So when you apply a mod, the number on the top right will take away from the stockpile. All right? If, boom, you apply mods. Let's try to get this down here. As you see, as I keep applying mods, that capacity is going down by the number on the top right. And as you see here, perfect example. I have this mod. Let's say I want to apply this mod now. This mod costs 11 to apply to this character. I only have 6 capacity left. If I try to drop this mod on here, it will not let me. Well, that's actually not going to let me for other reasons, but this mod, boom, perfect. As you see here, I've tried this, and the capacity flashes. This is letting me know that this mod is too expensive to apply to this character. If I want to apply this mod, I'm going to have to free up some capacity to apply that thing. Here we go. Boom. You can't have the same mod on here. I know these look different, but they're actually the same mod. Don't worry about that. We'll go over that later. Anyway, but as you can see here, now I can apply this mod, which costs 11 because I had a lot more. And now I can apply a mod that's anything between 8 to 7 to 6 capacity, anything higher than that, and it won't work. So you do have to be careful about what mods you are applying. Now, a thing to note here is that, as well, if we go back to that vitality, alright, boop, we're going to apply that here. If we go to upgrade it, which you can actually do from this screen, so if I go here and throw on this vitality, any mod that's applied to this right here, not down here, but up here, you can upgrade, you can manage by simply clicking the mod. Now, as you see, this will show me all the mods that I currently have equipped on this character, regardless of its loadout. So if I click this Vitality here, let's say I want to upgrade it. Boom. Like we discussed earlier. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, I got it rank 6. Beautiful. Just like you told me, right? Problem is that as you increase the rank of the mod itself, and it's what it does for you, you also increase its drain. So as you see that little number at the top right, as I rank up, boop, 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 it also goes up in drain, so it costs more to apply. So you'll need to be wary early on about how much you are ranking up your mods. This is why I told you only to go up to 5 or 6, because it'll help keep that cost of that drain low. And so you early on, folks, because the key thing here, and something I didn't mention, but I'm going to mention now. Sorry for the weird cut there, guys. Had to do something real quick. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. The thing that is key here, and that I failed to mention earlier, is that if I go to my Sevagoth, you'll see that it's A, max rank, which is rank 30. Warframes start at rank 0 or unranked, and then rank up to rank 30, and that is important as well. I'll get into that and why that's important in a minute. But you'll see that I have 60 of 60 capacity. You will not start at 60 of 60 capacity. In fact, if, let's say, your master rank is rank 0, which means you've never taken a test before, you haven't, quote-unquote, prestiged yet, you will actually see 0 of 0 with an unranked frame, okay? Let me explain why this is, okay? So, first off, let me go to a Warframe that actually is unranked. Nyx. I have a Nyx here that's completely unranked and not played with. As you see here, unranked, never been played with, never been messed with, and that's pretty much that. So, if we go into upgrade, you'll see that my number... Oh, forgot to remove these mods. Okay, you'll see that my number is quite lower. Instead of 60 plus, we're at 18. Now, before I get into why I'm at 18, it should be 0. This actually should be 0. The reason why it's not 0 is because I am mastering 18. Every time you complete a master rank test, a quote-unquote prestige, you start with one more. You start with an unranked frame. If you take an unranked frame and you go into it, you'll notice that if you're master rank 1, you will pretty much start out with 1 capacity. If you're master rank 2, you'll start out with 2 capacity. If you start with master rank 3, you'll have 3 capacity, and so on, all the way up to master rank 30, where you will start with the maximum master rank 30, okay? 30 capacity. Alright, so my Nyx is unranked. To get the capacity up to the highest amount, which for you, not me, for you, will be capacity of 30. I'll explain how I got it to 60 in a minute, but you will pretty much be getting it to 30. And to do that, you will simply just have to rank up your character all the way up. Every time you rank up, so if Nyx goes to level 1, I will have 1 capacity. If I go to level 2, it'll go to 2 capacity, and so forth, until it reaches rank 30, which is the max, and then you'll have 30 capacity, 30 of 30 here. I do want to make a quick note that, yes, although I start at 18, because I'm mastering 18, this does not mean that by ranking up my character, I will get 19, and ranking it up again, I'll get 20, or 21, and then 22. I will not get more capacity because of my master rank. I only start with more. Meaning that instead of starting with 0, I start with 18, but I will always, just like you, end up at 30 once I max out my character. So do not worry about your master rank. It only affects how you start, not where you end up. But you will only get to capacity of 30, which means you'll only have 30 capacity to apply your mods. Once again, why I said early on to make sure that you don't rank everything up super high, because you will quickly run out of capacity really fast. So only bring up things to rank 5 or rank 6, and then you should be able to apply more to that, as you see here. But, so, you only have 30 capacity, and as you see here, even just applying 3 of these mods takes up a lot. We can actually reduce the amount of cost that these mods have. So, when you look next to the number on the right of the mod, where it shows how much it's going to cost to apply to the frame, you will also see a symbol next to that number. Now, you will also see symbols on the mod slots, right here and right here. Now, most of these mod slots don't have anything, and if I just place them there, boom, nothing. Nothing happens. It costs 12, and it has taken 12, as you see there. But if I click on the mod and hover over and just hold on to it, you will see some pretty interesting things here. This symbol lights up green, and this symbol lights up red. Now what's actually happening here is, if you look next to that 12, you will see that that symbol next to the 12 matches this symbol right here. So what happens if I take that symbol and match it up? Boom. There you have it. The mod now only costs 50%. And that doesn't matter what mod you put in there, that will always cost 50%. So if I put in this 13, it's going to only cost 7. If I put in this 14, it's only going to cost 7. If I put in this 12, it's only going to cost 6. It takes half the capacity of the mod that you currently have equipped. So if you have a rank 6 vitality, it's going to cost 8 to apply. If you match the symbol, it'll only cost 4. And this is how you get into basically applying more mods to your character. And before you ask, yes, you can actually turn all these empty slots into symbol slots as well. But there is one downside. If I take this mod, which by itself costs 12, alright, and I apply it to the wrong slot, it's going to give me generally plus 1/4 mod capacity, meaning that it's going to cost 1/4 more than it is. So instead of 12, it's going up to 15. So you want to avoid the mismatching the symbols as much as possible. So even though we don't have a lot of symbols here, it's nice to have some blank slots, because then you don't have to worry about it costing more. So, got it? If you match the symbol, it costs half. If you don't match the symbol, if you mismatch the symbol, it costs a little more. And if you don't match the symbol at all, then it just costs the standard normal amount. Got it? Another thing you want to note is these 2 slots right here. These slots are on every Warframe in the game, and they're actually pretty important, especially this one. This mod right here is what's known as an aura slot. Now, if I take a standard mod, like we were doing before, and try to drop it there, you're going to get met with this. This slot is reserved for aura mods. You cannot apply any other mod besides aura. Luckily for you, it's easy to check if you have one, because you actually have a tab here for just 4 aura slots. If you don't see this tab here, then you don't currently have any. So if it's not showing up for you, you don't have one. But if it is showing up for you, you have them. And as you see, I have a few quite here. So you may also notice that this aura slot has a symbol. Now there is a chance that a Warframe doesn't have a symbol here, but for the most part they will have a symbol. If I try to apply a mod here, you will notice that these aura mods have a little something different. You have the number, you have the symbol at the top right, but also a kind of little pointy arrow that goes up. This is telling you that instead of taking capacity, this mod actually gives capacity, making this 36 higher. Now, how much higher depends on the mod. For example, this mod will give me 9 more capacity to the 36, generally turning it into 45 capacity. So you can actually get more capacity by applying these mods. So they're actually very useful, and you definitely want to get them. But here's the best part. Just like before, if I match the symbol here, the mod costs half. If I match the symbol here, instead of costing half, since it doesn't cost anything, it actually gives capacity, it actually gives double. So if I apply this +9 card, which with the matching slot, instead gives me +18. So as you see, these mods can be very useful early on into giving you capacity so that you can apply more mods to your character. Boom, boom, boom. As you can see, we're getting a lot more mods than we were before. Alright? So definitely want to keep an eye out for these, and you can actually earn these mods fairly easily. The best way to get them is to open up your Nightwave, which is pretty much Warframe's battle pass system.
Yeah.
As you see here, I am neglecting this battle pass. I know veteran players are shrieking at me right now. Don't worry about it. But yeah, you can actually find these mods in the cred offerings of the Nightwave system here. As you can see down here, scroll down, you'll see that there's actually some more mods right here. Loot Detector, Deadeye, and Shield Disruption. These actually rotate every so often, so you come back here in a day or a week and you'll see different mods here. Alright? Pretty useful. We also have Enemy Radar. It doesn't really matter.
You know it.
It really doesn't matter what mods you throw on here, on your Warframes. They do provide a benefit, but generally early on, just throw whatever mod matches the symbol. So one of the last few things I want to talk about in this modding system tutorial is, well, you've probably already noticed it by now, that I've said multiple times that the max amount of capacity you can have is 30 of 30 once your frame is maxed out. Yet here I am sitting with 60 of 60. So keen eyes who noticed this, good job. I'm about to explain why this is right now. So you've maxed out your frame, you got your 30 of 30, and you want to double it. There's actually a way to do that. And you simply come down here to the Actions tab, and you will see this little thing right here called Upgrade. Now for me, I've already done it, so it already says it's installed, but it basically says upgrade your mod capacity to double your mod capacity, right? To do this, you will have to have something called an Oricon Reactor for Warframes, and an Oricon Catalyst for weapons. Alright, got that? Oricon Reactor for Warframes, Oricon Catalyst for weapons. If you have one of these, and I'll explain where to get them in a minute, if you have one of these, you simply just pop that bad boy in there, and your 30 of 30 will turn to 60 of 60. Alrighty? Now, you pretty much, once again, can find these by going to your pause menu, clicking on Nightwave, and then you will find them as rewards here as well. So as you see, here we go. There's one right here at rank 5 for the Catalyst for your weapon, and a Reactor for your Warframe right here at rank 7. You can also, like the Aura mods, find them in the Intermission Cred offerings. Probably wondering what I mean by Cred offerings. Let me quickly explain this Battle Pass briefly. This is Warframe's Battle Pass system. It is a non-paid-for battle. You don't have to pay $10 or anything like that to access this. You're just given to it for free, and you can work on it as much as you want whenever you want. To do this, you simply just complete these challenges listed here, which reset daily and weekly, depending on the actual challenge. And they give you varying levels of XP. And that XP collects up here, and then once you hit 10,000 XP, you pretty much rank up. And then you can get here to rank 5 and then rank 7. But completing these challenges, and then collect yourself a free one of these. To get the ones from the cred offerings, you simply have to earn intermission cred, which is, as you see there, costs 75 intermission 3 cred. And the way to earn this is simply, once again, just leveling up. As you see, you earn 150 here, and you earn 50 here, and 50 here, and so forth, all the way up the list. Alright? So that's pretty much how you earn those Oricon Catalysts and Reactors fairly easy. There is another way to earn them, which is through a mission later on in the game, but it's like high-leveled enemies, and so you won't be having to worry about that anytime soon as a new player. So
and we're out.
That's also how you earn the Aura mods, is with that intermission cred. And then the final thing I want to talk about here is, I said earlier that you can turn these blank slots into symboled slots so that you can make your mods cost half, thus you can apply more. And to do that, you simply have to, first of all, get your Warframe to max rank. Your Warframe does have to be rank 30 in order to do this. If it's not rank 30, you cannot do this. But once your Warframe is maxed out in rank 30, you simply come to Actions again, and you want to do this thing right here. Basically, you want to spend what's called a Forma, which is another resource in Warframe, which I'll once again explain how to get in a second. And when you do this, you'll pretty much be asked to select the type of Forma you want. Generally, you'll be seeing a lot of this. This is something you'll earn very slowly, and this is more rare, but don't worry about this. This right here, this normal Forma, right? This will be for advanced modders. Basically, you take one of these and you sacrifice one, and then once you do that, it'll allow you to change one of these slots into a symbol slot, or replace one of these symbol slots with a different symbol. So let's say you have like all your mods loaded out, but this one you don't have any of the symbol that you want to apply. You can then Forma that slot and then change the symbol into something that you actually have, like another one of these, or maybe a line, or this or a Vazarin symbol, like this triangle thing. Alright, or another V. So you can change the symbol, you can change those blank slots into symbols, but as I said, be warned, if you change all the slots, then you are stuck using that type of mod, because if you get the wrong symbol, it'll cost more. And that's pretty much that for the basic modding tutorial. I'll talk more about these Exilus slots and these things, and how you can actually change the symbol or add a symbol to these slots later on in my more advanced modding tutorial. But early on, you won't really need to know most of that other stuff. In fact, most of this I explained won't apply to you really early on. But either way, this has pretty much been my in-depth guide on how to do the modding system in Warframe. So hopefully now you understand a little bit better about how this works, and you can get out there, start leveling up your mods, start working on your builds, and start applying your catalysts and reactors, and get your builds going, and start kicking butt. So if this guide did actually help you in any way, please do drop a like and let me know in the comments below. And that being said, once again, if you want to keep up to date on all of my guides that I'm currently making for Warframe, do please make sure you hit that subscribe button and of course turn the notifications on so you are notified. And with that being said, I will see you guys all in the next tutorial. Peace.